Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to talk about the Antares Autotune Pro plugin. I've gotten a couple questions about this, and I just want to go over it, and also want to emphasize this graph mode here today because this is an overlooked feature that is basically Melodyne, and so you don't need to buy both. I have both, and I've found myself to be drawn to just use this graph mode more often. So let's get into it. So this is a song I made with River Hooks. It's going to be coming out at the end of the month. It's just kind of off the top of her head, but I was able to clean it up with some processing afterwards. And what I want to emphasize here is the auto-tune. So she wasn't too pitchy on this vocal take, but it was just, could be pitch corrected a little bit.
There's nothing left to say, I'll never be the same. Thank God my heart was made.
Alright, so I'm just going to play a section before the auto-tune and then without it.
I had to change myself to keep from going under. I walked away to love myself like a lover.
Okay, now let's play it with it.
I had to change myself to keep from going under. I walked away to love myself like a lover.
So, as you can tell, there's just a couple of things that it corrects, and this is with the auto mode. I didn't really feel the need to do the graph mode, which would be more pitch specific. With the auto mode, the most important thing is the retune speed here, and you can play around with that until it sounds good for you. And then the next thing is the Humanize feature, which will make it sound less robotic. And then the vibrato is what's going to make the fluctuations sound more present or less present. It's like the sound. And then this is your flex tune. And with the higher flex tune, it's going to allow more expression to come through on the voice. So
I had to change myself to keep from going under. I walked away to love myself like a lover. I had to change myself to keep from going under.
you can kind of hear it's a little more expressive. It's kind of up to you. I, in this song, just kept it down to 0, and I don't mind that. For the input type, this isn't a huge thing either.
I had to change myself to keep from going under. I walked away to love myself like a lover.
There's also a learn feature, so it can learn what type of input type this should be at.
I had to change myself to keep from going under. I walked away to love myself like a lover. I had to change myself to keep from going under. I walked away to love myself like a lover.
So, although she's a female vocalist, she's kind of singing and like a alto lower pitch. Obviously not like a low male. She's kind of in between because I know she could definitely go higher. But so it learns that she's an alto. And then you have all these other format things over here. This is like the master mix. You can detune, format, or transpose. This song, I'm not going to touch any of those things. And then we get into the graph mode. And so to use this, you have to actually record in the vocals. So I'll show you what I mean by that. You have to have this pitch and time selected.
I had to change myself to keep from going under. I walked away to love myself like a lover.
And now we can see the waveforms here. And we can start to go in and correct these. Generally, it's advised to not really touch these like really drastic things before they hit a note. So the more fluctuating things before they actually hit a note. But we can then go in and manually correct these, and we can draw them out further if we want.
I had to change myself to keep from going under.
Or remove that. The line is going to change how much variability is in that vocal. And then you can adjust you can draw in your own curve as well.
had to change myself to keep from going under.
And then this nudge is just going to slightly adjust it up or down.
I had to change myself to keep from going under. I had to change myself to keep from going under.
And then the next thing you can do is mess around with this retune. And then it also shows up on your graph as well when you mess around with this retune. So say it's really low, you can see that the green isn't adjusting as much, the green lines, but when we bring it all the way up, it's almost like a flat line here, right? So that's one way we can manually adjust. There's a lot of other things we can do to really clean up the vocal tuning. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.